every stream I'm gonna do a little presentation on an animal or something I enjoy, League of Legends lore, video game lore, anything I feel like. So today we're gonna learn about the Jackson's chameleon. So the Jackson's chameleon, the generic name is Triceros jacksoni. It also can be referred to as the three-horned chameleon or the Jackson's horned chameleon. The males have 3 horns, and these are used for territorial combat and attracting mates. Females usually have no horns, but they can, in rare cases, have 1 or 3 horns, but they're usually smaller than the males. So I'm a Jackson's chameleon, and I am a female, and I do have horns, which is rare. So diet and hunting habits. So like all chameleons, Jackson's chameleons are arboreal lizards, so they live in the trees. The males do joust with their horns, actually. They are used for combat. So it's kind of similar to like how deer with their antlers, how they like charge each other. I should bring up a video of that after this. But yes, they do have uses for combat as well as attracting mates. So they live in the trees and they feed on insects, small birds, and snails. And they usually just eat the snails whole along with the shell, which is pretty cool. They use their long tongue as a projectile to hunt their prey. So it's almost like in a little cocoon, right? And then they like launch it out at the prey as it passes by. Their saliva is apparently as sticky as honey to help lock down their prey once it's hit by the tongue, which is pretty cool. Yeah, literally Tom Ken's Q. Apparently it's really sticky, which you don't really associate with them. So each of their eyes can move independently, and their brain is constantly analyzing 2 separate images of their environment. But when they do spot prey, they can change their eyes to focus together. So like how when we have both of our eyes focusing on something, it gives us better depth perception. So they can do that if they have something to focus on. And here's a video of a Jackson's chameleon hunting its prey. So habitat and range, they are native to eastern Africa, specifically Kenya and Tanzania, but they were introduced to Hawaii and Florida invasively in the 1970s and have extensive populations there as well. The feral population of Hawaii supplied the U.S. pet trade until 1997, where they had an export ban under Chapter 13-124 species of injurious wildlife in Hawaii. So they were basically the sole providers for all of the Jackson's chameleons pets in the U.S., and they outlawed it to discourage people on the island from breeding more. So another interesting fact is, while most chameleons lay eggs, Jackson's chameleons don't. They have eggs, but they stay inside of the mother until they're ready to hatch, and then the babies are birthed live. So one of the rare cases where a reptile actually gives live birth. So one of the most common questions are, why do chameleons change color? So unlike what most people think, chameleons do not change color for camouflage. They do not do it to avoid predators. The main use of color is communication, whether that be with predators, prey, or other chameleons. They can also actually use it for temperature regulation. So, darker colors attract more heat, while lighter colors do not. So they can change the color by expanding and retracting their muscles, which cause their pigmented cells to change color. So it's basically if they're relaxed or they're constrained is what actually determines what color they change. So when fighting, males often change color to indicate aggression and confidence. And an interesting finding is that the color-changing behavior of the invasive species in Hawaii, and I guess also Florida, they were different than those in Africa, with brighter and more conspicuous color changes. And this is often, or most likely, due to the lack of predators in their new habitat, so they're able to change more colors and not be afraid of being seen by predators. So they are quirkier. The feral populations and the invasive populations are quirkier than the ones in Africa. So all chameleons can change color, but the panther chameleon, when people refer to like these pictures of these bright chameleons, and they actually are most often referring to the panther chameleon, because they are the most pigmented out of all the subspecies. So right here, this is a panther chameleon, and you'll often see those bright colors. While Jackson's chameleons can change color, but they're definitely not as bright. Okay, thank you for listening. And here's my citations.